All right, today on the Advisor platform, we're going to examine the simulator and how you might use it in rebalancing a portfolio or just general portfolio construction and design. So we've gone ahead and created a portfolio down below here that's 8 different parts, some ETFs, mutual funds predominantly, and a stock. And we went ahead and ran a simulation. We ran a 3-year simulation, and the results are right here. And here's the report, and you can see that it shows each part. If you'd put 100% in that asset, what the return would have been, and its return and standard deviation. And it shows 1,000 different allocations made up of a portfolio of all these parts, the range of potential outcomes you could have had in that portfolio depending on how you weighted them. And here's spread evenly, the yellow dot, 4.5% return, 7.5% or standard deviation, and 7.5% return, and the algorithm, which is 4.5 and 12.8. Upper left is the desired. So the first thing you look at is, what if we just eliminated the parts that weren't performing, which seems easy enough. Let's assume you have had them and don't have a good reason to have them. So we went ahead and ran the simulation. Let's just get rid of those offending parts. And quite obviously, if we get rid of the parts that aren't performing, we've got a nice progression in return and standard deviation, as you might expect, a more elliptical result. More and more of the outcomes, no matter how you allocate it, appear in a desirable space, and the spread evenly and the algorithms start to collapse on each other. And we get a 4.5% area of standard deviation, and returns are up at 12-13%, which is the desire. We may want a portfolio that encompasses those areas though that we eliminated. So what about just replacing those parts with better parts? You know, investments that are apples to apples comparisons, but keep us represented in that space. And we went ahead and did that. So if you look at the simulator, and just to show you here, we got rid of the offending parts, investments. That's not even offending, they're lower performing assets. Let's say Target, Federated, and Royce over that 3-year period. And I went ahead and did a search on comparable parts, and Target compares to Walmart. So we decided, let's replace Walmart, our Target, with Walmart. And Calamos has an ETF that's a return fund that has better numbers and compares well with Federated. And then Fidelity Low Price, obviously compared to Royce, has a better numbers, 3, 5, and 10. So we went ahead and replaced that. If we add those in as comparable parts to replace what wasn't performing for us, and we spread again, okay, and we rerun the scan and say, now we've got a construct portfolio similar to the one we had. How's that affected? And here's the end results, where we've got a continued lowering of standard deviation overall, 5.4 in this case, spread evenly, but the returns are 10% and 11.3, which compares against 7.5% and 12.8 when we had the original offending parts, or parts that were underperforming. So by doing that analysis, we can dramatically improve the total results no matter how we allocate them, both in return and standard deviation. And that's one way to use a simulator, to experiment with changes in your rebalancing to improve portfolio performance in any given time. You can do 3 and 5 and 10-year looks, combinations, and you'll come up with more and more advanced ways. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll talk to you next time.